everyone. How are you today? We hope you're in a good conditions. And what are you feeling right now? Maybe are you in a good mood because yesterday you got compliment from your lecture, or maybe you having a bad mood right now because there is a lot task to do and you have to finish it by this week. So, from all this feeling, we can get to know your moods and emotions. Just like our discussions this time, we will discuss about moods and emotions. So, what is exactly moods and emotions? There are three terms that are closely intertwined. There are affect, emotions, and moods. For the affect is a generic term that covers a broad range of feelings people experience, including both emotions and moods. For the emotions are intense feelings directed at someone or something. Meanwhile, moods are less intense feelings than emotions and often arise without a specific event acting as a stimulus. Most experts believe emotions are more fleeting than moods.
How many emotions are there? There are dozens, including anger, contempt, enthusiasm, envy, fear, frustration, disappointment, embarrassment, disgust, happiness, hate, hope, and so many more. Although many philosophers have categorized of emotions, proof of the existence of a basic set of emotions still waits for contemporary researchers. Psychologists have tried to identify basic emotions by studying facial expressions. One problem is that some emotions are too complex to be easily represented on our faces. Still, many researchers agree on six essentially universal emotions. There are anger, fear, sadness, happiness, disgust, and surprise.
Basic of moods. There are two basic of moods. The first is positive affect. Positive affect as a mood dimension consisting of positive emotions such as excitement, self-assurance, and cheerfulness at the high end, and boredom, sluggishness, and tiredness at the low end. The second of basic moods is negative affect. Negative affect is a mood dimension consisting of nervousness, stress, and anxiety at the high end, relaxation, tranquility, and poise at the low end. Positive affect and negative affect play out at work and beyond in that they color our perceptions, and these perceptions can become their own reality.
Function of emotion. Do emotion make us irrational? How often have you heard someone say, "Oh, you are just being emotional"? Chances are you will be often that. The famous astronomer Carl Sagan once said, "Where we have strong emotion, we are responsible for making a fool of ourselves." This observation demonstrates that rationality and emotion are in conflict, and if you show emotion, change or you will act irrationality. One theme of author argued that displaying emotion because grief to the point of crying is so toxic to a career that we have to go from somewhere room or rather than letting others see it. This perspective suggests demonstration or even experience of emotion can make us appear weak, fragile, or irrational. However, research is increasingly showing that emotion actually critical to rational thinking. Then, do emotion make us ethical? More and more studies are beginning to examine the relationship between emotion and moral attitude. Before believed that, like most decision making, the most ethical decision making based on higher order cognitive processes. But research on moral emotion increasingly questioning this perspective. Examples of moral emotion include sympathy for the suffering of others, guilt for our own immoral behavior, anger about injustice done to others, contempt for those who have unethically, and disgust at the violation of moral norm. A number of studies show that these reactions are mostly based on feeling rather than cold condition.
Source of emotion and moods. Emotion and moods can be caused by many reasons. In this chapter, we will discuss 9 sorts of emotion and moods. Personality. As all individuals, we must have a built-in tendencies to experience certain moods and emotion more frequently than others do. We also differ in how intensely we experience the same emotion, while those who are especially intense experience good and bad moods and emotion more deeply. And then day of the week or time of the day. You will have guessed by now that people tend to be in their worst moods early in the week and in their best moods late in the week. Monday morning is therefore not the best time to reveal bad news or ask someone for a favor. And then weather. Have you heard of illusory correlation? It is the tendency of people to associate two events when in reality there is no connection. Many people think so, but the weather has little influence on our mood. And then stress. Stress can affect our moods and emotion negatively. The effects built over time and constant levels of stress can worsen our moods and emotion. Next, social activities. For most us, social activities increase positive mood and have a little effect on the negative mood. Positive effect. Positive mood seeks out social interaction, physical, informal, and Epicurean activities are more strongly related to positive moods than formal and sedentary events. Next, sleep. I bet that sleep is by far your favorite source. Indeed, sleep quality does affect mood. If you're tired, you are more likely to feel fatigue, anger, and hostility, and therefore it can impair decision making and make it difficult to control emotion. And then exercise. Another favorite, no? It should be, in fact, reset and change our positive moods. This is especially good for depressed people. Next, age. Negative emotion seems to occur less as people get older. Likely positive moods last longer for older individuals, while bad moods fade more quickly than for younger people. Emotional, emotional experience improve with age. And the last, gender or sex. Women are more emotionally expressive than men. They experience them more intensely and hold onto emotion longer than men. They display more frequent expression of positive and negative emotion, except anger. This is because men are tough to be tough and brave. Women are social and nurturing, so they show more positive inputs.
So now we will discuss about moods and emotions from Nokia company. In October 1998, Nokia became the best-selling mobile phone brand in the world. Nokia's operating profit went from $1 billion in 1995 to almost $4 billion by 1999. The best-selling mobile phone of all time, the Nokia 1100 was created in 2003. In 2010, Nokia launched the iPhone killers, but failed to match the competitions. In just 6 years, the market value of Nokia declined about 90%. So, Nokia's demise from being the world's best mobile phone company to losing it all by 2013 and has become a case study discussed by teachers and students in business management classes. So one of the most popular research is from Mr. Hui and Mr. Voorhees.
Result consists of interviewing Nokia's top managers, engineers, and external experts. And based on their research, the results are at that time, Nokia suffered from organizational fear. The organizational fear was grounded in a culture of temperamental leaders and frightened middle managers. The middle management was scared of telling the truth because they feared being fired. Top managers were afraid of the external environment and not meeting their quarterly targets. Top executives were afraid of losing investors, suppliers, and customers if they acknowledged their technological inferiority to Apple. Top managers intimidated middle managers by accusing them of not being ambitious enough to meet their goals. Top management was lied to middle management who felt telling the truth was useless, and top managers lacked technical competence. Nokia's culture of status has led to an atmosphere of shared fear, which influenced how employees were interacting with each other. The human factor was added to economic and structural factors, and together they have generated a state of temporal myopia and hindered Nokia's ability to innovate. This study points out the importance of emotions among employees and their powerful impact on the company's competitiveness.